right. This is Richard with doclogistics.com. Doc-logistics.com. My email is richard at doc-logistics.com if you want to get a hold of me. So there was a very interesting infographic, if you will, that came out recently. So where everybody's trying to figure out what is going on with the rates. How did we get here? And there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people who are smarter than me that are letting us know about supply and demand. Truckers are telling us that there is an issue with truckers taking loads at too low of rates, driving the whole system down, pulling us down. And I kind of agree with that. Coming from another industry, what I noticed is that if you have people that are pulling the prices down for their benefit, because either A, they spent too much on one part of the project and now they don't have much left. So they're kind of relying on you to go ahead and, give them a break. The problem is that happens 2 or 3 times a day. It's happening 15, 20, 30 times a week. That's one customer. Over time, it is dragging down your margins, your profitability, your sustainability. As a salesperson, it's almost human nature where you want to say yes. You're always taught to say yes, right? So when you have a customer face to face, even is what we did, is that you get this whole, he looks you right in the eye and says, can you do it for less? And you've got, right at that exact moment, you're going to have the tiers, the levels, the differences between different sales reps. Some sales reps are, in the majority, are going to say, yep, yes. They're going to drop that number down because they're going to think that the top line revenue, because they made the sale, is what is more important. When that's not true. It's actually better for the business if you do less at a fair and profitable margin. And what happens is, over time, is as a leader, you have to filter out those salespeople out of your business. And even if your top line revenue starts to come down a little bit, and I've seen this, I understand this. If it comes down a little bit, you're right, you're selling less money this month. You sold less product this month than last month. The difference between the 2 months are those sales reps are there or are they not there. The mentality is either there or not there. And so what we did is we sold less, which is equivalent to a driver saying no to a load because the rate's too low. We said, no, that's okay. If you found a lower price, go ahead and go to that competitor. What's happening with the competitor is, again, they're thinking that their top line revenue is the big winner, when it's not. Because when the electric bill comes in, the phone bill comes in, wages come in, insurance comes in. When all these things come in, that top line revenue doesn't mean anything because your expenses stayed the same. You made more money, but things just cost more. And so as you keep selling your product for less and less and less, it is doing nobody any good, right? It's creating so much volatility in the whole supply system that you are no longer profitable. And now you're upside down. So now you're forced, and I've seen this too, now you're forced to start selling your product at a way above, you're selling it at a premium now because you got to recover. You're trying to recover from all those bad decisions. All those people who are going way too low on the rates, carriers, brokers, shippers, way too low, right? They're just trying to sustain their existence and trying to ride this out. I'm pretty sure that's the mindset. So where this is going is that it people started talking about, okay, as they segmented to the sales side of things, what are the people, the brokers and the shippers, what are they hearing? What are they talking about when the discussion is, what is leadership telling them about what is and isn't working, and what's real and what's not real. I think that's where we're really trying to figure out where we all land in all this. My biggest worry is leadership is not listening. Now, unfortunately, when leadership does not listen, we get frontline information that is not properly discussed and decided on, and we end up going with an idea that doesn't fit reality. So the big question was, does leadership team allow the sales staff to voice opinions on what is and what is not working? So a sales staff is going to want to sell. That's what they do. And the ones that I know, they're really good at it. Really good at it. I think for leadership, it could go either way. I've worked with some leaders that are really freaking fantastic, and I've worked with some leaders that just weren't that great. And that'll happen, right? That'll happen to all of us. And in the trucking industry, that happens. You've got brokers, truckers that are really, really good at what they do, and they know what's going on. They're up to date with the technology and the changes that are happening. However, we do have some bad apples, some brokers and some carriers that don't see it that way. They have different things that they're using as their barometer as to what's a good decision and what's a bad decision, not really taking into full understanding of the ramifications of that decision, because it's a compound effect, right? It's a compound effect. If you have that book from Darren Hardy, I got another from that. But it's a compound effect that if you keep making those bad decisions, you're going to make things worse, right? So, but there is time to change. We're in, and I feel in the middle of May, we're there now. We're in the pivot point where we can make things much, much, much better, but we have to make some tough decisions. And one of them may be that we need to start listening to our sales force so they can kind of tell us what's going on, right? Um, the other thing is, how closely compliant do you feel your company's KPIs are, your key performance indicators? How are they aligned with your sales, with your company's sales? I thought that was an interesting question. Um, I know that not every driver, every broker, every shipper understands their mission statement or what the main thing is, right? You want the main thing to be the main thing, and I'm not sure they all understand that. I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they do, but if they don't, they really need to get that dialed in, because it's causing a lot of problem. You know, 49% when people surveyed say somewhat aligned, somewhat. So of the key performance indicators, some of them of their points are part of what they're being judged by to get done. So, your performance indicators are supposed to be defined to be telling everyone what makes this business make sense. And if you have a little bit of communication problem, that is another way things can get squirrely on you, which is where we were. And that's my opinion. When I talk about what functions are more important in those objectives, as a broker, as a driver, as a shipper, everyone has got their different cost of operations, percentage of net gross, and the shippers, they're manufacturing, they're having to pay employees. So you may have two or three people, maybe 10 at the most, a small carrier company with assets. You may have, like myself, an independent freight broker agent, right? Party of one, you know, and then you have a large manufacturing company that has, 1 to 200 employees. We all three of us have different things that we align that make our business make sense, right? So my point is that we're feeling a little bit misaligned, and one of the things um, that I'm hearing out there is that we really need to get back in sync. One of the ways we can get back in sync is through communication. Um, by just telling people no, that's one thing, but to explain, in a educated professional manner, maybe the reason why, maybe that kind of feedback can has some value to someone if they want to make that adjustment. And some people will, some people won't, and that's okay, right? That's okay. I wouldn't be judging too hard on anyone that said, "Hey, listen, Richard, I think if your rate's too low, and I'm not going to run that route." And I'm saying, listen, let me call my customer and let me see if if there's anything we can do, and call them right back. If yes, great. If not, okay, fair enough. Just let them know. Couldn't be done, or it could be done. Send over the rate con, and we're good to go. Right? We start moving freight, because that's what we should be doing, is moving freight, folks. That's what we should be doing. The argument is how concerned we are that someone is not making enough money and someone is making too much money. We all kind of want to be in the middle. It would be nice if everyone could go out and have tons of cash and tons of cash flow, but that's not the reality. The reality is everyone's going to run their business slightly different, from broker to broker, from trucker to trucker, from shipper to shipper. So it's about finding a partnership that works for you, and being honorable, being respectable, and being professional, more importantly. Myself, with over 20 years in sales and management, operational logistics experience, I learned over the years, shaking lots of hands, is being honorable, be respectable, don't lie, and make sure you're upfront. Just say it like it is, because people need the facts to make the right decisions. Again, this is Richard at doc-logistics.com. That's my email. Website is doc-logistics.com. Go ahead and visit me. You can leave a message on the bottom of the webpage. You can connect with me with either Facebook or Twitter. Go ahead, and if you want to shoot me an email, if you would like to be a shipper and you're looking for a very good broker agent, I'm your guy. If you're a carrier and you'd like to be on my preferred list, just go ahead and shoot me a message. Let me know what lane, what assets that you have and are available, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll get some agreements sent out, some packages, and start working together. Right? So we're the post-COVID era is going to be filled with business people that want to make it happen. I'm not so sure if there's going to be a lot of people that overplayed their hand, or got greedy, or got visibly upset and just got very unprofessional. I don't know if they're going to make it to the other side. I mean, I hope so, but they probably won't. Most people want professional people to work with, because they got a business to run. Guys, again, this is Richard at doclogistics.com. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Okay? And it was great talking to you. And be safe out there. And I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And I hope the rest of your day is even better.